Thank you, Carrie. Mother's Day is such an interesting day, especially for, well, I mean, who does not have a complex relationship with their mother? The first Mother's Day reading I ever went to was at Bookwoman when it was back on 12th Street, and the theme of it was motherless daughters, and it was just it was one of the most incredible, like, breaking open moments of my life to be in communion with other fairly unmothered daughters. So on this day, like, I focus on giving my metta, loving kindness, heart energy to people whose mothers are not with us any longer, or were themselves unmothered and thus able to mother. So honoring all of those among us who are in that space. On that note, I'd like to welcome Angeliska Polachek. Oh, I do have your piece. Don't I have it? Yes. Thank you. That's reminding me. Thanks, Dave. I got the printer working. Yes. That was a miracle.
Thank you. Okay, so bear with me, y'all, because I haven't really read this in front of people, and it's kind of cobbled together from excerpts from something that I'm working on right now, so a little bit raw. For so long, I have longed to communicate with my mother's spirit, to hear her voice again. In dreams and visions, I manifest elaborate devices to facilitate our otherworldly conversations. This past winter solstice, I had a profound vision during a ceremony. An old black telephone appeared before me, hunched in celluloid, with a rotary dial. I could feel the weight of the heavy receiver in my hand. It was that real. I realized that I could call anyone in the world on it, and I pondered for a minute, trying to think of who I'd like most to talk to at that moment. One phone call to the person whose voice I'd most want to hear, until it hit me. My mama, of course. To talk to her again, to be able to have even just one conversation with her. I think sometimes I'd give almost anything to be able to do that. My vision faded, and I can't really recall being able to actually get through to her, but it was almost more the radical notion that such a thing could actually be possible that was amazing to me. That and the raw beast of my longing for her, long buried, suddenly so close to my face, breathing rough right next to me, a wild, savage desire just to have my mother back with me, even if only for a moment. Then, out of the blue, years later, I received an old recording of my mom talking about her favorite country songs on the radio. I hadn't heard her voice for 25 long years, until the day I got that recording. Listening to it, I realized her voice is the most beautiful sound in the entire world. To receive this gift was such a balm to that deep wound, that howling empty space. Her voice is orange blossom honey and Tabasco. It is the sudden flutter of bird wings. It is as soft as owlet's fluff or a pink mimosa blossom. Her singular country accent, those long A's and drop G's that I hear in my aunt's voice and in my own when I get drunk or go back where I come from. Her cadence is one I used to carry, too. I feel like recently I finally broke through the membrane separating us. I had a profound experience where I was able to deeply commune with her spirit. During a powerful meditation, I found myself focusing on the mystery of motherhood and the magic of the crone. I was thinking especially about the amazing old women in my life and how much love and respect I have for them, my beautiful grandmothers and the light they carried. I was imagining myself growing elderly, my body's inevitable decay. I thought about my aunt, who I adore, my mother's sister. She lovingly took care of both my grandparents until their deaths, and I thought about what an honor it is to get to be present with someone you love, to return the favor of the care they bestowed upon you when you were small. to tenderly wash the aged body, the sagging breasts that you once fed from, the withered belly that you lived in, the weakened arms that once held you and carried you. It hit me for the first time that I would never have the chance to experience my mother in that way, that I would never, ever see her as an old woman, her auburn hair turned to silver, her face creased with lines, skin turned to crepe paper. I wept and wept for her, for the deep longing, the raw missing of her. So visceral, the clutching, reaching towards the body that you come from, the door where you came in. In the night, in the midst of that vision, I feel like she came to me. First, through her emblems, the cabbage roses painted on fine china, her symbols, the images that embody her spirit now. They fluttered through me in psychedelic sunset waves painted in the shades of fluorescent tempera she used to embellish her fabulous collages. I saw night-blooming cactus flowers swirling like galaxies, emitting cascades of fireflies and shooting stars. Fiorucci angels winking behind heart-shaped sunglasses, and glamorous 1930s starlets blowing kisses with their hair in victory rolls. Chorus lines of hot pink flamingos and her beloved classic cars, those roseate flaming dreamboats arcing through the sky like comets, like fireworks. She came to me through all this glory and held me close. In her mimosa honey and Tabasco voice, she told me everything I ever wanted to hear, everything I ever wanted to know. I know now, completely, incontrovertibly, utterly, how much my mother loved me, still loves me, how precious I am to her, that I am the best thing she ever made, the rarest jewel in her treasure chest. I know that now, and I have to remember to carry it with me all the time and never forget it.